Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. Today guys, I'll be checking out this interesting video from the Whatever podcast with Michael Knowles, and it's titled The Easiest Way to Find a High Quality Man. You guys, I'm super excited for this. If you're yet to subscribe to this channel, please consider subscribing. Give this video a massive thumbs up, comment, share, and all that good stuff. And without much ado, let's see what this video is all about.
All besides Madison and Michael and myself, everyone else here does do adult content to varying degrees of nudity, I guess you could say. My question for you then is, you have a rather traditional expectation of men, but please don't be offended. I would argue that being involved in pornography is rather non-traditional. So why do you, how do you reconcile expecting traditional treatment from men when you guys are engaged in very non-traditional activities, a very non-traditional occupation and behavior?
It's work. So for me, originally, I actually worked in the tech industry for 2.5 years, and I was doing OnlyFans on the low. Naomi's not my legal name. I just did that because I didn't want to get fired because I was pretty high up in a tech company. Sure. And then I just decided one day, I was like, why am I making people millions of dollars when I can make myself millions of dollars?
Well, I'm not asking you to justify why you do the work that you do, but like, I'm asking why you have, I would assume that you would not categorize yourselves as traditional women.
My point was, like, I was traditional and no one knew about this other side of me, right? So,
well, how long have you been doing OnlyFans?
Like a year.
Okay. So my question is that none of you are traditional women, yet you have very traditional expectations of men. How do you reconcile that?
I think for myself, I've been in long-term relationships alongside my job, and how I reconciled with that was simply being very upfront with the realities that I was going to always make more income in that relationship. And for that reason is why I say with long-term relationships, I wouldn't expect that man to pay for everything. And I know that you agree that men should be paying for most everything. Yeah. And I do agree that depending on the type of circumstances of that relationship and who they are, that can happen as well. So my relationship to traditional relationships is not exactly as they're seeing it out as, but I know for some, a lot of girls like to expect a traditional relationship, but reality hits, we're not traditional girls. We do OnlyFans, we do all these other things.
But you could just stop.
Yeah, we could.
Right, and then completely. You could just do the traditional thing and find this, like, rich Mac Daddy, and and he can pay for your hair, and then you don't do the other thing.
Well, I do want to go around the table on this, because that was a question that was posed generally, but to all of you. So Cindy, how do you reconcile?
I think the man should definitely provide in a relationship, and it doesn't even matter. So then the woman should not be involved in pornography.
Exactly. Simple.
I'm not even involved. Like, I don't make porn. I don't make like, if you subscribe to me, I'm not. I actually don't. And Pornhub actually reached out to me last time because you said that in the video that went viral. I'm not on Pornhub. I don't do that kind of content. But going back to the question, like, yeah, I think the guy should provide. It's been like that. The man chases after the girl. So it's been like that. It's always going to be like that. And it doesn't matter if you do OnlyFans, if you're a sexy model on the internet. It's not always what it seems. Once you get to know the actual woman and talk to her, like we are right now, then you'll actually get to know her. It's not always like sexualizing a woman because she's like, she's hot and like,
Oh, well, I'm not sure if that really, okay.
Sorry, I was going to say, I kind of align with what you're trying to say, is it's kind of a mask per se. I don't like saying that, especially on camera, but our identities as these girls, as adult girls, is that we are these super hypersexual beings, and that's not always the reality. That's not our actual identities. Some of us don't even have the same names. So I think that's where it kind of carries out into our personal lives, and our private lives are very traditional as opposed to the untraditional ways that we present ourselves online.
The persona online.
But because of that, we obviously, like myself, I include that into my relationships. There's a reality for myself, for others perhaps not.
So but is it really possible to like split yourself up into two people? I mean, you could have a stage name and a real name, and in your stage persona you're one way, and in your real life you're another way. But you're one person.
Not
so,
two different people, just the perception of how people see us online versus how we are
But
in
I
real
think
life.
that's to Brian's point.
Wow, you guys, what are your thoughts on this? All of this, two different personalities that the girls are talking about. It's just to buttress their point and feel justified that what they are doing is totally acceptable. Like the other girl said, she said it is the role of a man to pursue a woman. These men are not going to play the role of a man pursuing a girl who does OnlyFans, but instead they are willing to play the role of a man pursuing a girl that is reserved, pursuing a girl that is traditional in her own way. So I love the question as in how do they balance being an OnlyFans model and expecting men to play the traditional roles in their life. To be frank and sincere, this is not going to be possible except they are willing to stop the OnlyFans. And even if they stop, there are some men that are so reserved that they wouldn't even want to have anything to do with a girl who was once an OnlyFans model. Let me know what you guys think about this video in the comment section down below, and let's continue watching, you guys.
When you're dating someone
with two different identities.
you're both of those people, right? And I guess you're going to be more one or the other, or you're going to be an individual.
Exactly.
So the stage persona might start to infringe upon the reality, and
That's a fact, yeah.
so would that change your expectations of the kind of guys you'd be dating, or how you would behave with them?
For me, my ex was the only person I ever made content with, like, in that way, like, to the furthest extent of content, I guess. No one else have I ever made content on that level with. Everything else is just me.
It's so crazy to think about the way we all talk today. Is ordinarily what you'd be saying is we made love, but we're such a capitalistic, materialist, decadent society. Now you say, my ex, he and I, we were so close, we made content together. It was the deepest content ever. It's just something's really gone wrong
Yeah,
in our
of course.
society, hasn't there? That
Everything
really you
is
should
not
just be making love and
justified.
making babies.
No,
with
I
these
agree.
guys, right?
I agree, but the money is something that I really hopped on and wasn't willing to walk away from.
If it's very tempting.
If I can support myself and the people in my life, that's all I ask for.
Can I say something? I think that I don't even do content or anything, but I think we should treat people that do the same as we treat actors. Like, we don't judge them for the movies or the roles they play in movies or anything because the money is good.
Do we not? I
No.
mean, they're a little bit different. Historically speaking, actors have been considered in the same class as like criminals and prostitutes.
Well, I think, in my personal
Marilyn
opinion,
Monroe.
I don't,
sure.
I don't look at a role my
Anderson.
favorite actor plays and say, I don't like this role, so I don't like this person. It's kind of just like they're doing it for the money and they're doing it for the content. And I think it's the same with OnlyFans.
No, sure. I understand that they're like these. You put on a mask and you do it.
No.
So what do you think about that?
Yeah, what do you think, Brian?
Well, look, let's I think you're trying to make a point of something in a broader sense, but I'm talking on an interpersonal relationship level. So, for example, you could have, and I'll open this up to the whole panel, but I'll start with you. Would you object to a man who perhaps he has actually no issue with a woman being engaged professionally with producing adult content? He has no problem with it, no judgment of it. However, when it comes to his personal life and who he chooses to partner with and date, he does object to dating someone who has nude photographs of themselves on the internet for whatever reasons those may be. He's not outwardly judgmental about it, but when it comes to his personal preferences and who he wants to date, marry, whatever it may be, he does not want to date a woman who does OnlyFans or does porn. Do you object to that preference?
No, I think everyone
Okay.
has different preferences and everyone should have the right to decide that for themselves.
Okay.
But then that man would be judging.
Wow, you guys, one thing that amazes me about the girls that comes on the Whatever podcast is that they are not even willing to back down from the kind of lifestyle they set for themselves. Instead, they are very, very defensive and they justify every of their actions, and the reason why they are doing this is because of money. But when is it enough to say, okay, I have made such an amount of money, or I have made the kind of money that I have in mind of making, so let me just stop this job? But because they enjoy this content so much and it has become a part of their reality, they find it very, very hard to stop. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below, and let's wrap this video up, you guys.
No, that's
No.
a personal preference. There's a pool for everybody. That's what
Yeah.
I believe. If
Yeah.
there's a group of guys who's not okay with adult content, like, then that's not the guy for me. So it's cool. Like, you don't want to date me, I don't want to date you
Yeah.
just as much. That's how I see it.
I think the right one for you guys will come to a common ground together in the end. But right now, I mean, we're all single. We can all really do whatever we want without the feedback of a partner.
Sure. Is it possible, though, that if you didn't do what you do, that you could get a better husband someday? Is it possible that the kind of guy who you might want to marry is the kind of guy who wouldn't want his wife to be, in the sexual industry?
Not for me.
I think it depends on your standard of quality and what better actually is. So if you identify as better in a man would be somebody who is completely religious or is completely conservative or somebody who is completely against pornography in general, then better might be very, very large and
But
different.
what if it's even more basic? It's just like a guy who, he's more faithful to you, he's better at raising the kids, he makes more money, he is more
What does
responsible.
that have to do
If
with
I met
sex
the
work,
right guy
though?
and he didn't want me to do this anymore and we were going to be together, I'd quit.
You'd quit,
I'd
yeah,
be done.
yeah, of
I'd be
course.
done. But that's not where I'm at in life right now. Like, I respect that. I think everyone, that would be hard as a partner watching your partner online and for everyone else to see. Like, I don't doubt that that's hard.
Is it possible, though, that what you're doing now is preventing you from meeting that guy? Because that guy maybe wouldn't even look at your kind of content, right? So is it possible that if you quit right now, you say, I want, it's like dress for the job you want, right? You say, I'm going to quit right now and I'm going to go do something else and I'm going to go put myself in places where I'm more likely to meet that guy, Mr. Right, who wouldn't want me to be doing this stuff. Are we not reversing the order of the way things might happen?
I hear what you're saying, and I agree with you to a sense, but I think the guy for me is going to be the guy for me in the end, and I don't need to change what I'm doing right now for him.
I think sorry.
No, please.
I think for a lot of us, at least from my sense, is I prefer a partner who's understanding and with transparency. So if they're willing to understand the reasonings that I chose to do my job and chose my occupation and have continued it for so long, then I think that's the perfect partner for me. Not everybody is going to understand, and not everybody that does understand is perfect for me, but eventually one day, just as she's saying, is that person may come around and that might be the perfect fit. But I don't think that everybody is possibly perfect, even if they don't appreciate or are accepting of what I've done in the past. So for that reason, I think it just comes around. Obviously, yes, if we all lost our jobs and we all chose to leave it, yes, there'd be a larger percentage of men or women who are willing to be with us. Obviously, she doesn't perform this type of work. But regardless, I think as well, just because we continue to do this to today, then I think most of us would prefer somebody who is understanding and passionate for our decisions.
Because you're putting the job before the larger pool potentially of guys.
Completely.
That you
And
could, yeah.
I think it's also because that can show more of a moralistic value as opposed to the simplicity of, oh, so she left it, great, now I can finally hop in because now she's out of that system. Not necessarily that's what you're saying, but
No,
for
it's
the
not. I
instance
guess
of-
it would. If you quit, it would probably reflect a change in your point of view about it.
You guys, it's so sad that the world has decayed to this level that girls are now justifying pornography as a job. Let me know what you guys think about this, because this is very, very sickening, and I don't even know the right word to say to these girls that is going to make them change their mind. But this is so, so sad, and I hope that one day they get a change of mind and come out of this job. Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye guys.